Hello everyone, and welcome to your Aries New Moon wishes for April the 15th, 2018. The Aries New Moon Sign readings, of course, are all about the equinox energy. So whether you're in the Southern Hemisphere and this is your harvest season, or this is the vernal equinox for you, the spring equinox in the Northern Hemisphere that is initiating your new year energy, what you're planting, what you're sowing at this particular time. It's a very auspicious moment. So I wanted to take a moment to let you know some of the things that Great Mother has been seeding in and through me to and for you. These new moon wishes, I am taking the time to actually write out suggested new moon wishes for you. If you're not familiar with working with new moon energies or how to work with them, it's basically really being clear about what your intentions are, writing them out, no more than 10, and you want to be sure that they're individual wishes. So for example, you want to go out and have more fun, and you want to make more friends, as an example. Those are two wishes, and they need to be separate. So I want to go out and have fun is one wish, and I want to make new friends is the second wish. Not sure exactly why it doesn't work when they're combined. It may have something to do with dictating how we want our blessings to come to us, which really does stagnate the manifestation process. The other thing that you want to keep in mind when you work with your new moon wishes is that they are just for you. We don't make wishes for other people. Again, imposing our will in that space of creation is an energy that we really want to avoid because it attracts that energy to us. So to maintain our autonomous divinity in a way that is pure, in a way that is clearly channeled, we want to keep that wish for us, for ourselves, those wishes just for us. We can introduce the process to others at any time. And you want to just write them down, not meditate on them, but do put them away so that you can later reflect on them as your lunar cycles progress. You can come back and reflect on what has manifested. You'll begin to be very astonished by how quickly things do come into manifestation working with your new moon wishes. And so you won't have to look back at it very often. What you will discover is that things that do not manifest will probably be because they were somehow combined, or they are very core issues that you're working with and working through. So those are just some hints. I'll give you some more kind of rules of the road in terms of working with that. As Jane Spiller says, I'm one of her students working with lunar energies, and so that will be on your link to the blog on greatmotherspeaks.info. Suggested new moon wishes for your moon sign. Speaking of the vlog, this new lunar year for Aries moon sign people, your video has already been posted, and so it talks about for each of you when your new moon comes each year, what Great Mother is coming through and saying will be some of your challenges and all of the energy that's available for you to actually feel the support of your divinity throughout the year. And so it's a very interesting look at how to plan for the year coming up. This is what you've probably heard me refer to as when the sun is in your moon sign. This happens once a year when the sun is traveling through your moon sign's constellation, and when the moon, it becomes new in that sign, is your lunar new year. Again, we all have our own houses, our own degrees of when our moon came in. You may not have been born during the new moon in Aries, obviously. You could be born in November, and your moon was a full moon. Well, if it was a full moon, it was in September, for example, because that is the Aries full moon. And so your Aries moon might actually be there. And so that's where the personal readings come into play. These are general readings about the general energies. So remember to book at greatmotherspeaks.info. And speaking of that, this month until the 30th, there is a sale on readings. All our readings, Great Mother Speaks readings, your moon sign readings that are normally $85, and the hour readings that are normally $65, Great Mother Speaks readings, they're all $50. So that is an encouragement to really get some information about this very auspicious season to help you kind of jumpstart the year for you in terms of planning this planting season. The moon is really, really important with regard to planting and harvesting. Want to be sure that you also know that the Mama Drama Trauma website is finally up. So mamadramatrauma.info is up and ready to go. I want to let you know about the support group. This is a group that is using the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck as a coaching tool to really support the general welfare of survivors of Mama Drama Trauma. In my coaching work, I have found that supplemental support throughout the week is very useful, and in joining a group in kind of the pilot experiments that I've had so far has really proved quite powerful. So it's very limited, small group, and so I think 5 is the maximum that we're just starting out with because we do really work through some of the principles and share ourselves anonymously through audio conferencing. So it's an opportunity for you at mamadramatrauma.info, which is the sister site to Great Mother Speaks.info, both of which are on the home site of themotherbond.com. So if you're just generally kind of rolled up on Great Mother Speaks and you're like, what the heck is going on? Check out themotherbond.com. It's just a general overview of what we're talking about in terms of maternal yin, Holy Spirit energy, and how it manifests as the good, bad, and divine mother in each and every one of us in each and every way. And to get a little bit more understanding about how to work with this energy and insight about just really how we experience that energy and why we experience it in the various ways that we do. Those are just really getting started up. But want to let you know about that. And last but not least, these new moon readings that you're watching are readings that are basically going to amplify, enhance, really refine and focus your understanding of what Great Mother's messages were throughout the second quarter readings. Now, we just had our second quarter readings posted for April to June. So the general 3-month period, we have 4 through the year. We did January to March, the first quarter, just overall what's going on during those lunar cycles. Now just posted are the second quarter readings that are all about what's happening up until June. Now we have a respite the second quarter from eclipses. We are still in Leo North Node, Aquarius South Node in the Western, and Cancer North Node or Rahu, and Ketu Capricorn in the Sidereal. But we are having some reprieve. No activity going on until the end of July, which will be the third quarter. So this reflection period is really important when I come in with these shorter messages, new moon, full moon messages, April, May, and June, to further refine your understanding and expand on what she was saying. However, if you have not watched those videos or you picked up something that you think that you want to go back and reflect on, again, the link is below to your second quarter readings. Well, I really, really do hope that you enjoy them. Remember, the second quarter readings do have a 25-minute introduction for people to understand what these readings are about, who Great Mother is speaking to, and how to use these readings to know the difference between your emotional voice and when Great Mother is speaking to you. So we took some time on those second quarter readings to do that. So if you've already listened to that, remember, fast forward to about 27 minutes at the beginning of your second quarter reading. So with no further ado, here from me to you are your April 15th Aries New Moon readings from Great Mother Speaks. Hi Pisces, Aries Moon people. This Lunar New Year for you kicks off with you knowing that it is time for you to leave a bad situation in order for you to better enjoy your life. I'm going to pull together this new moon cycle for you, your first new moon cycle of your new year, together with your New Year report that was posted. that has all the 12 months, but the first month of that has the card Pachamama. And Pachamama is the card of leaving a bad situation in order to enjoy your life. This was the scene in The Wizard of Oz when, in fact, Dorothy left the farmhouse. And so leaving a bad situation with that waning gibbous moon card, a feeling of gratitude and in fact, relief that you're able to actually align with what you know is necessary in order for you to embrace and to own your birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole. It's a root chakra card, so it definitely indicates a tribal, safety, security, family type of a situation. Now, did Dorothy leave and never come back? No, we all know that she did return, and you may very well return to the situation yourself. But at this particular time, Pisces, Aries Moon people, Pisces in your sidereal on a soul level, you are definitely getting downloads that your higher wisdom at this time is to act, is to pioneer and initiate new actions toward leaving a bad situation. Now, generally, that is what Great Mother came through and said for you in the lunar month of the Pisces Aries New Moon. This reading gets into the meat of it from this new moon until May's. Now, it starts off with you actually feeling a sense of relief and reward. You have been unexpectedly the receiver of a very beneficial outcome of the journey that you've taken to leave this bad situation. This, of course, emotional, intuitive journey that you've been taking to get clear about why you need to do it, what are the boundary issues that are not being respected, how you're going to do it within yourself that honors who you are, is indicated by the Ra card. So during this new moon period, you are actually feeling a sense of relief. You're feeling a sense of higher connection with regard to this issue that has ungrounded you, that is making you feel unsafe, and perhaps has even made you very angry, because we know that that is why Dorothy left, that they were trying to take Toto, who in the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck symbolizes intuition. Now, you have a transformative opportunity, this lunar cycle, to look at this as an evolutionary growth opportunity. We have the third eye here again. So the Ra card is a third eye, and we also have the third eye of Ma'at. So both Egyptian members of the pantheon that represent those energies that call into creation, the yin-yang balancing of life, being rewarded for work done, getting justice that you may not have anticipated, getting fairness in your life that you may not have anticipated, but has been created by your own action. It has been initiated by your own insight. That is the transformative opportunity for you this month, Pisces, Aries Moon people. This is a first quarter moon card. So you may not feel this for at least another week or so going into this lunar cycle. That is the cycle of taking action based on a decision to face a challenge. This is very challenging for you. This is calling into question whether or not you have perhaps even made the right decision to trust yourself on this and to follow your intuitive guidance. And so that's what's making this a challenge for you at this particular time as we move into this lunar cycle. Great Mother is, however, saying to you not to overlook how important enjoying your life is. Hathor, the Egyptian goddess of pleasure. She's another Great Mother goddess that has a yin-yang quality herself, a very beautiful and bountiful cow, symbolized as a bull many times, that masculine energy, but of course we know Taurus is a feminine sign. So talking about that yin and that yang of that power of pleasure, enjoying your life, we see that Hathor is a new moon card. So Great Mother is very much emphasizing that during this new moon phase for you, it's important for you to be very clear about what your authentic wishes, desires, hopes, and aspirations are in your life, because that is what's going to reground you. That is what's going to deliver the light in this period of darkness for you and uncertainty as you stay focused on your challenge and acting on what you know to be the best for you at this time. You're receiving a tremendous amount of guidance and protection to do so. This is a soul issue, of course. And so when we're talking about the Jesus card, we're talking about yin energy, being receptive. Be receptive to knowing that this is your path and that you are being guided along it. There will be friends that come along, support that comes along, kind of, again, unexpected, or people or groups of people that you may not normally associate with. Just as Dorothy found along her yellow brick road, people that she normally, and characters rather, that she normally may not have met on the farm in Kansas. But as we follow the yellow brick road, and as you're doing that, you're seeing that you are fully protected, and that's why these unusual characters and circumstances are coming into your realm to confirm that for you. They are strange because you haven't felt that for a while. You've been ungrounded. You've been rageful about that ungrounding, and so that's why they look strange, is because you haven't had that support. You haven't had that love. But Great Mother's coming through, and she's saying, adhere to the law of soul guidance and soul guardianship so that you can feel the love from Great Mother Father God as a dearly loved divine child of the Great Mother Father God, who's never judged, condemned, or left alone. What may not be very clear to you right now in your shadow position is that it's very important to embrace your shadow. Embrace your shadow is exactly that. Whatever you feel ashamed of, whatever you consider within yourself to be qualities that you'd rather others not know. Sometimes we're surprised to find out that other people know us better than we do in some instances, aren't we? And they just state it as a matter of fact thing. It doesn't bother them at all. Well, you're pretty greedy. I didn't know that you wouldn't share with people or whatever like that. And yeah, that might be a little snide remark, but you hear it, and you hear the tinge of it is not judgment or condemnation. It's kind of like, oh, they knew that about me? I didn't know that they knew that about me, and they don't even, really care. Or maybe that they do. Just as we see in this scene in The Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy says to Oz, when she realizes that he is only a man, "You are a very bad man." To which he responds, "I'm not a bad man. I'm just a very bad wizard." So you may not be aware, Pisces, Aries Moon people, that now is a very auspicious time for you to embrace those qualities within yourself. Perhaps those qualities that have driven you away from home, that have been called out by others in not so positive and loving ways, that have made you come to a point of reevaluation of yourself, not in a self-judging, self-abandoning, or self-condemning way, but in a way just like Oz. I know, I'm just a bad Oz. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad human being. But, this thing I've been trying to do, okay, all right, you got me. I'm just trying to learn and play around. And that's what we're doing down here as souls. We come utilizing the energies. We embody the energies of the cosmos. We hear the saying very often, moving heaven and earth to get something done. That's what we do on a minute-by-minute basis, on a daily basis. That's what it's all about. The planets are constantly moving. The earth is constantly revolving and moving. And the moon is constantly moving through the constellations. All of the planets, we're always on the move. We just as soul borrow the energies when we come down here to embody a certain karmic disposition that we have in terms of our state of evolutionary development. So wherever we are in our evolutionary development, we embody those qualities of the planets and of the constellations in physical form. They're crystallized in that form. And we crystallize our soul relationships with one another to cultivate and to develop and to purify us. Now, I know that might seem like a really great insight, and for some people it can be a little bit overwhelming. But if you think about it, it's just like any other contract, soul contracts. When you sign, for example, a contract for marriage, that's a very basic, well-known contract, right? Some people don't want to sign that contract because they don't want to embody the tenets, the characteristics, the parameters of that contract. They don't want to change from being in a partnership, a casual partnership to a formalized agreement that has parameters to it. And that's what we do when we incarnate. We have soul contracts and soul agreements, and that's what makes up our birth chart. They're karmic agreements in how we interact with one another, the lessons that we're here to learn, how we will react in certain situations, how we feel, our moon, our lunar. And so when you get a moon sign reading, we're looking at your birth chart from a lunar perspective. What you are feeling in any given moment as it relates to your soul purpose this lifetime. Okay, and so there's always an attempt to align that at different choice points along our life path. And the planets play a big role in that, interacting with our cosmic calculus, our unique birth chart, transits and houses and all of that good stuff. And so this is what's going on with yours right now. This is your Lunar New Year. I'm very excited for you because by embracing your shadow, you're going to start this dance with the prostitute. And it's a dance that you've been invited to, just like at a party, somebody invites you to come to on the floor and dance with them. You have been invited by Ishtar to come to the floor and do the prostitution dance. Now, we are all prostitutes. It's the oldest profession on this planet because we all must give something of ourselves in exchange for survival. There is a material exchange. That contractual agreement is a universal planetary agreement. And we have that to actually materialize the reality of our connection with one another. This, for you, is a shadow dance that is giving you the opportunity to reevaluate and re-identify. This is first house energy, where this Lunar New Year is coming for you. This is for your first house. This is your identity. This is who you are to yourself. And you're going to reassess that. Because the Ishtar card is a second chakra card with the ox symbol there, the breath of life, the breath of desire for incarnation, the actual fertility that comes forward for us to experience this life. And the source of all life, the energy, the source of all life is the desire for incarnation. And so what is your desire for your incarnation at this time, Aries Moon people? You have a tremendous ability to look into what the cultural trends are, what the popular trends are, and be a trendsetter yourself and a taste setter yourself, a taste maker they call them. But what are you doing in terms of the introspective value of having that ability is what this dance is calling you to answer. Because what needs to be let go of is any and everything that does not honor who and what you are at this time in your life. Not last month, not around Christmas time, not this time last year, not 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or how you were raised. It's who you are now that is being purified. And Great Mother is coming through, and she's saying that this is a very auspicious opportunity for you, Aries Moon people, to engage in that dance and come out with a more refined sense of your ego soul alignment. The heart chakra is all about that ego soul alignment, that crossroads between the ego and the soul. Heart below is ego energy, above is soul energy. And with this waxing gibbous moon card, this is about refinement. This is about editing, about, revision. Dorothy and the three finally enter Oz's castle at this particular stage with Coventina. They enter one way, and they go into the wash and brush up, and they exit the wash and brush up a completely different way. That's the purification. Dorothy enters a young girl in ringlets and ribbons, and she exits a young woman with long curly hair that's let down and brushed out. The lion enters, all scruffy and crazy. He stays crazy the whole movie, but physically, that's how he enters, and he leaves, kind of coiffed and refined and dignified. Okay, and so we look at the Tin Man enters, and he's all rusty, and for the rest of the movie, he doesn't even need the tin can. That's what you're going through. You're not going to need the tin can after you do this dance. After you do this dance with the prostitute, you're going to be pretty clear about what's working for you in your life now and what is not. What's going to facilitate your ability to do this work, to really clearly look at yourself and to evaluate these things and to enter this new moon cycle and be purified through it unto the full moon of Ishtar? Actively and consciously processing what's going on inside of you as a result of this journey that you've embarked upon. Aries energy is initiating energy. It is active energy. You may find that when you think about your emotional default, you act before you actually feel a situation. And this time, you're being invited to feel through the process. This may be very new for some of you, and it is something that you may be feeling like, yeah, I know, but it's okay. I don't need to do all that. And I'm saying that because this is an every mother card. Okay, processing is about, just like digestion when we eat and it goes through our bodies. When you get the processing card, it's about processing your emotions, despite what other people think, what you think, how you feel. Remember, we're talking about lunar energies, how you feel, Aries, about initiating this new identity for you, this new state of authentic expression of who you are to yourself, okay? And this ability to foresee things for others, to do that for yourself, to process how you're feeling about what you foresee to be your new pleasure for yourself. We see that processing is right under the Hattar card, and the Hattar card is the new moon card, and so it's very important that you do download. We're seeing processing here in the balsamic moon, which is about download and the gut chakra. And this every mother is that indication that, as we see in this scene, Dorothy is trying to tell Aunt Em where she's been and what all these people she met, and there was a Oz and there was a yellow brick road, and Aunt Em was like, "Yeah, honey, you just had a bad dream." Dorothy still had to process what she went through, and she did. She continued telling her story, didn't she? And she continued to such a degree that, there's no place like home. And when they heard that, they were like, okay, but she knew what it meant. And there's no place like home, Pisces, Aries Moon people. There is a sense of home within yourself that has been lacking, that Great Mother is encouraging you to return to in your gut. Gut is survival. Gut is instinctual. It's visceral. It's an organic, our actual physical organs in our body responding to our environment. That's processing. And when we have digestive issues, that's what it's about. It's about our organs not being properly assimilated, having the ability to properly assimilate what we consume. And it backs up. So Great Mother is saying it's important that you consume what you're feeling, what you're going through, and purify it. Go through the purifying fire. Okay, Aries, that's nothing strange to you. Okay, you are the fire sign. You're the cardinal fire sign. You get the party started. So get that party started with you and allow yourself to consciously bring up these things that you have been intuiting on a soul level from the Pisces into the Aries, into the emotional realm, into that visceral realm, and process it. Because as you do so, moving into May, as your Lunar New Year report says, Ixchel is the card for May, which is self-creation. You will move into that self-creation phase, and it will be an issue of whether you will default back to old behaviors and try to return back home, as the Ixchel card is in the Great Mother Speaks deck when Dorothy runs back home, which is fine because she ends up doing her journey anyway, right? But it's a choice point is the point. Or you continue on your journey and bypass the twister and go on to your yellow brick road. That's all it is. It's an opportunity by the May new moon to really be clear enough about where you are and where you want to go to consciously make that choice. So if you go back home, if you go back to that bad situation, just know that there's a very real possibility that the law of destiny and free will is going to be activated in your life. And whatever your free will is going to be what you do. But it also has a destiny to it, like Dorothy's situation, in which we see here, the throat chakra is the higher will. Okay, that's heart above consciousness. And the higher will of Dorothy was to be able to return back home to that soul space of being safe. And the law card here with destiny and free will is about that androgyne, that balance, that yin-yang balance. Okay, getting back to that, as we were talking about Ra and Mayat and Hathor opening up your reading, that balancing energy of Egyptian gods and goddesses that give us the insight into the prominence of the primal nature that we all share of that yin-yang balance. And here you have the double yang and the single yin card, which means that by the end of this lunar cycle, you will have received everything that you need to know about your higher will, and the choice will be to act on it. Not just leave a bad situation, but fulfill what it is that has come up for you to do. In the process, you may have discovered that what you really need to do is change the relationship, renegotiate the contract. Maybe what you have come to understand is that what you need to release is a part of you that has been holding on to some old ways of being, that if you update it internally and do your inner work, that you will be able to adjust the situation just by that. Whatever is going to come up for you by the end of this lunar cycle, Pisces, Aries, Moon people, is going to allow you to fully express that aspect of yourself that will balance your inner and your outer worlds. Right now, you may be feeling that on the inside you are balancing, and the journey of this Aries new moon, your lunar new year, is going to do the balancing work from now until the new moon in May, where you begin your self-creation process. Now remember to look at your Lunar New Year video to see the expanded view of your entire year. If you would like your own personal lunar reading, please be sure to reach out at greatmotherspeaks.info. The links are below. But above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.